Bonsoir, mes amis. Grüße, meine Freunde. Hello, my friends. This is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki with another Alliance War video. As usual, I take my team, Vision, Void, Stark, Spider-Man, a team that has a lot of versatility. You have the Void with his cool mechanics and Spider-Man with his just really big damage, and also then Vision with his power control. Once again, I'm on path 8/7, so I head over to my first fight. Like a lot of wars this season, it's a mutant, and I'm sure it's going to be Sabretooth. When I get over there and see the persistent charge, I know it's him. So this fight is great with Vision. As I've said in my last video, this is a Corvus trap with the regeneration and the power limited to SP1. It is a good way to trap Corvus when they go in thinking they're going to charge. So, of course, I use just some medium boost, just the lowest attack and health boost, and then I use the 30% champion boost. I have a lot of those 30%. If you buy the deals from Kabam, they just add up really quick, and I almost have 2 million overflow, so I want to use them as much as possible. So there, the boosts are on. I'm not worried about any 3-minute boosts, so this fight should be pretty straightforward, and it's pretty safe with Vision. So Vision is the best choice because you can keep on draining this power, and also you get the heal block, which is really important because Sabretooth's regeneration stack up really quick. So with the heavy, you can actually see it's interesting with Vision. You know, I had 1.5 bars of power, even though it's a power stop 1, and I've actually gotten my SP2 a few times with Vision synthesis ability. Somehow the synthesis overrides the power stop 1, and so you can go beyond it. You know, if I really was trying to play it a little more strategic, I would get my power up to 1 bar power, close to 1 bar power, and then I think it would push me into the 2nd bar power, which for Vision specials a lot nicer because it always drains all the power, but it just wasn't necessary at all. The power stop 1 is, or the special 1 is more than enough. So I quickly finished that fight off, and then that's all I have for this first day. For me, this is very late at night. There's one more fight on this path, but I always leave it for Cade on path 9. So now I'm at the first mini-boss. It's a Wasp, and Wasp is a tricky fight. I know, of course, that you have to bait her heavy or SP1 so she turns off her evade. It's something that I haven't done a lot. I sort of feel comfortable doing it and know how to doing it, but I made the mistake of not practicing enough for this fight, and you can see what happens. I go ahead and put on the big boost because I'm going to do the entire rest of path 7, and I'm also going to put on a invulnerability boost, knowing that I haven't really fought her that much, and want to just give myself that little bit of extra margin in case things go wrong in the fight. I'm going to go in with Void because it's the buffet node here, and so eventually Void will get enough of the Petrified and Fear the Void on her that she will start killing herself when she regens. So the fight goes off fine. You know, you can see that it goes very quick, that she goes out of her evade. I almost cannot even get a full 5-hit combo. So I managed to get off my special. I have 2 of the anti-evades, which I only sort of noticed on the playback that you get those when you fight her, which makes Void an even better chance against her. Here I'm getting really close to the wall. It always makes me really nervous. I miss my SP1, which is always a bad sign, and I get her, but I'm too afraid to attack into her because of the stuns. Probably should have, and I eat a heavy. Luckily my indestructible boost deals with that. You know, this time I managed to get the heavy. It's pretty awkward, but now she's at the SP2, which is really powerful, and I don't like trying to dodge it. I find it really hard to dodge, so I dodge the first parts and then just take the next blaster hits. Take another heavy attack, and you can see, oh, so much damage. You know, again, this time I managed to intercept her heavy attack, Get a Fear the Void going, land a SP1. She luckily throws her heavy pretty quick, and now I think I'm in pretty good shape. I'm going to try to bait out her SP1, and I managed to do that. Get a couple more hits, and she's down. I would say that was a pretty average fight. I did not do very well against her when I was backed up against the wall, and Wasp hits so hard that it only takes one or two combinations, and that's the end of your champion. This next node, I'm sure it's going to be a Sentinel, 6-star tech. Again, I see Sentinel and Iron Man Infinity War almost every time on this node. Healing Blade is always very expensive. It takes me 4 potions. I want to go in quick. I might have checked to actually see what this champion was if I wasn't so convinced it was a Sentinel. Plus, I still have my invulnerability boost, so it made sense to take advantage of that. Again, with Sentinel, it's the armor, what do you call it? The armor aggression node. So he's building up armors pretty quick. Of course, he has this analysis charge. So if you watch, I do 3-hit combos: medium, light, medium, because I just want to not build up any analysis, and that happens if you use the same type of attack twice in a row. So you can see here, about halfway through the fight, he only has 40 or so analysis charge. Every time I dodge back, though, he gets another analysis charge. It's funny how those things work. They just build up anyway. Glad I had the invulnerability boost as I got hit by the second part of the special, and then I missed my SP1. I must admit I was getting a little freaked out as he built up his analysis charge, just because I'd forgotten about the dash back when you do 2 dash backs in a row, and once he gets his analysis charge, things get a lot more tricky to fight him. So I kept Fear the Void. I'm up to 92. I sort of just wait my time, throw my special. Now again, it's pretty close to the end of the fight, and he's just going to be degenerating from all of the Bane charges I have on him. I just wait it out, and then he dies. So the final mini boss on this path, actually it's not a mini boss, the final champion I have to fight is a skill champ, and everyone in my alliance was telling me this is Korg, so I already sort of knew it was Korg. Of course I went and did the screenshot and took a look at him just to make sure. Checked his profile. Of course he had Korg in it at rank 5. He also had Blade at rank 5, so I guess it could have been a Blade, but there's no one he placed on this node really other than Korg. And it doesn't matter at the end, because either if it was Blade or Korg, I'm definitely going to go in with Void. And so just to check, take the screenshot, back out of the fight, and then I get ready to go back in. Since I hadn't fought Korgs in a while, and because it's a rank 5 and Korg's a challenging fight, I decided to go do some duels. So, I quickly found through the duel bot this summoner CDNYC who has a 565 Korg with Sig level 200. And I just decided to do some duels. Dueling is a great way to practice against these champs. Though they don't have the nodes and the special abilities that they have in War, still you get to learn their animations and also just figure out their fighting style. I always use 4 stars when I duel, because I feel like that gives me approximately the same level of difficulty as you would against a noted opponent in War. A little bit of the problem here is that his rock armor does so much of that strike back damage that it just eats through my rank 4, actually my rank 5 4-star. So, while I die more times than I live in the War, at least in the duels, at least I'm sort of getting everything practice when I fight him. It's just one of those things that's just so important to do, and it's also another great reason to rank up your 4 stars. I have a nice set of 4 stars that complement my 5 stars. That way I'm able to do these duels with them. If you use a 5-star, the fights are just too easy, and you end up and you end up just killing them too quickly, and you don't really get a sense of the difficulty of the fight. So rank 4s are great for that. So I do my duels, feel pretty confident, still got my big boost on, and again, heal up Void. It's another few potions I have to put into him again. That brings me up to using 5 for this war. Actually, I top him off with a smaller potion. And then I also want to make sure that I have Dex off. I had Dex off when I was dueling, but just to see it, there it is. There's no Dex. That way he doesn't get as unblockable and unstoppable. I'm not sure if it really is that hard to play around it, but it's just one more thing you have to worry about. And again, in a hard fight in Alliance War where every death is critical, you might as well make the adjustment. I have the one-off is nice too, because it has that little tag by my profile, and so it always reminds me. I remember one war I had just fought Korg, so excited about winning. And then on the mini-boss was Green Goblin, which I decided to take to Spider-Man to save some potions to revive Void. So I went in with Stark Spider-Man, and I couldn't Dex, I couldn't evade, and that's the only way I could build up his poise charges. So here I had this Spider-Man with 0 poise charges, and I started hitting him, and then Green Goblin started regenerating, and before I knew it, he just wasn't taking any damage, and of course I panicked and started trying to play really fast and hit him a lot and be aggressive, and of course I ended up dying, and that was a silly death and one of my most embarrassing. So Korg, after doing a lot, I was sort of just going to bait his heavy attacks. That's the strategy against Korg, and try to push him to the SP2. The SP2 is much easier to dodge. I see B Manny dodging the SP1 all the time, and I've tried, I just can't get the rhythm down that well, and so maybe one every 4 times I'm successful. So for me it's just SP2 all the way. And the way I sort of ensure he gets to the SP2 and doesn't throw his SP1 is, as soon as I finish doing a combo, I generally go right into block. I want to bait out the heavies anyway, and I also want to not have him throw his SP1, and he usually won't do it when he's blocking, so it's pretty helpful. So you can see combo, special, and then right into block, and then yep, he comes right at me. And again, he could wait to the end, these 5-hit combos I could have done it when he headbutt me, but just really trying to play conservative. I think in this fight I put on the regen boost because I wanted to make sure that I was trying to heal up some of the damage I was taking. The regen boost is at 15%. Then that allows you to just have a little bit more cushion. Things are going well. Oh boy, he's taking so much damage from that arc overload. Now that I have my Fear of the Void on, and yeah, that was it. And so I have my last fight, which is against the mini boss. And for the mini boss, as I told the story about the time I made the mistake about not turning on Dex, so of course I'm really careful. I get my Dex back on, and then I'm also looked at my combat regen. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can get in and get this fight with the combat regen, so that would be really good. Just might as well fight when you have these 3-minute boosts on. Just again gives you that extra measure of cushion. Green Goblin is pretty easy, but you never know in war, so I quickly go in, I heal up Void almost all the way. You can see I've used 10 potions this war. Oh, it's so expensive, and this is without taking hardly any hits, a couple against Wasp and a lot of lock hits. So I have 7 seconds left on my 3-minute boost, and then I am ready, and so I go in against Green Goblin. Now, I make a big mistake here at the beginning, so of course when you rush into a fight, I was turning on Dex, I was trying to get my 3-minute boost and make sure I didn't lose that. You see I threw a special, totally forgetting about the strike back, and he comes so close to getting an SP3, and his SP3 is really powerful, so luckily he was just at the edge of an SP2 which he throws. I dodge it, and then I sort of breathe a sigh of relief knowing I made a really big mistake. And so now the rest of the fight I'm really aware of that, luckily, as the fight goes on, and I build a petrified strike back doesn't matter too much. Against Green Goblin, I don't really mind either special. Both are tricky. If he throws the SP1, I'll dodge the first part engine, just take all the laser hits, and then I'll take the last pumpkin he throws and dodge that. With his SP2, I try to bait it out and get, I'm getting better at making sure I dodge all three parts of it. The first two have sort of tricky animations and just have to be real careful. The problem is it also looks a lot like it's heavy, so it's pretty easy to sort of like not know if he's throwing a heavy or SP2, and that has once or twice led me to getting hit. And when you get hit, boy, you get hit pretty hard. You get an incinerate on you, and then he throws one of those pumpkins on you, which makes a smart bomb. So no problems here. He goes down, and that is my last fight of this war. So it was a good war. I felt it was interesting fights, and I had a good time doing it. And of course, I'm always so happy when I don't die. And once again, that's the end of Path 7, and now I just wait for all my alliance mates to clear it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.